While the problems associated with flat roofs can be severe, one Southwest company has specialized in solving flat roof problems for over 30 years.
We're here on a problem roof, just going to go over some common issues that come up before we start a job. One of those issues is a parapet wall. You can see cracking here. Those issues typically compound over the years, and that's where you'll end up getting leaks from a parapet wall. Scuppers and canales are another real common problem on traditional tar-based systems. It's where the water is designed to flow out of the house, and so of course, if you have any type of issue or break in the seal at a canale, it's going to have real easy access to get into the house, as well as you'll end up having a large volume of water because that's where the water is flowing.
Lone Mountain Contracting was actually started by my uncle James Nick Blea back in 1973, and Lone Mountain was the first in this state to really embrace the thermoplastic single-ply membrane roofing.
What we use is a TPO, manufactured by Dow Stevens.
TPO stands for thermal polyolefins, and basically what they are is a synthetic rubber product.
It's a very lightweight material that's basically rolled out onto the roof, and it's heat welded at the seams to create a solid, uniform, impervious membrane.
Can Lone Mountain leak-proof this problem roof? Let's find out.
On the first day of a typical job, we'll bring in the crew, the materials, and the equipment, including a custom-built 20-yard dump truck. The crew arrives and sets up for the first phase of the job, which is usually the gravel removal. Most of our residential projects involve re-roofing old-fashioned tar and gravel roofs with our Pro-Ply system. And although it's optional, most homeowners go with our recommendation to remove the loose gravel on the roof. This will cut down the weight on the roof tremendously, and it provides a better surface for us to install the Pro-Ply system. On some houses, we're easing the strain on the structure by literally a couple of tons. Now that the loose gravel removal is done on this section, we're going to start clearing out the canales. Over time, those scuppers get built up with a lot of tar and other type of roofing material. Once the roof surface is all prepped and cleaned, we can start loading up our materials, and this includes the substrate insulation, rolls of the membrane, and the hardware and gear to fasten it all down. We're going to start laying down the half-inch insulation. This is the most common insulation that we install. Half-inch thick, and on the bottom side, it's foil face. It has a radiant barrier, just increases the efficiency. Because it's a white membrane, you're going to save money because it's reflecting heat.
A lot of people are telling us that they don't even run their AC units throughout the summer, that the white membrane has cooled the house down dramatically.
They are saving anywhere from 10 to 40% in heating and cooling costs. The insulation substrate is of course going to increase that efficiency as well. Various thicknesses of substrate are available, and we typically customize what we put down to match the homeowner's needs in terms of insulation and energy savings. In this case, we're putting the thickest substrate down over the living areas and thinner substrate over unheated parts of the house like the garage or porches and patios. It's a way we can reduce the overall cost of the roof without sacrificing energy savings. Now that the insulation has been laid down, we're ready to start fastening it down to the roof decking. We've laid down 2-inch plates to give the screws more surface area. It'll hold the insulation down before the membrane is rolled out on top of it. We start off with a half sheet of membrane around the perimeter of the section. What this does is it's picture framing the section. It increases the wind uplift resistance, and it's a commercial specification.
Originally, we were a completely commercially based company, and we were just very impressed with the durability and the results that we were getting using the TPO commercially, that we got the idea of using it on a residential basis.
Now that we have the first half sheet installed, we're ready to roll out a full 6-foot wide roll of membrane. They're going to overlap, covering up those screws and plates that we just installed, and then they're going to create a hot air weld. This process involves taking the top layer of membrane and literally melting it or fusing it to the bottom already installed layer of membrane. Because we're working with thermoplastics, this process, this seaming method, is the strongest available in the roofing industry. When you melt plastic together, it becomes one, so we're essentially creating one piece of membrane across the entire section of the roof. One of the keys to how we leak-proof a flat roof is the Pro-Ply system, which is unique to Lone Mountain. It's a commercial-grade TPO membrane that has some really remarkable properties.
The scrim material in between the polymers give it a better balance. It's more UV friendly. The sun can't break it down. It allows for puddling of water on top of the material, so even if you have a low spot, water can sit there and it doesn't degrade the material.
And it's actually the world's first reinforced TPO membrane. The technology behind it, they've been improving it over the last 20 plus years to make it the best membrane available as far as cost efficiency, as well as just overall durability and longevity of the roofs that are used with the membrane.
When you talk about the durability and the long-term performance of a roof, it's really a combination of both, not only the roofing product itself, but also the installation.
Once the main flat roof area is covered with our Pro-Ply, we turn our attention to the parapet walls. These are one of the main problem areas on a flat roof, especially where the walls connect to the roof itself. What we do is bring the membrane up approximately 18 inches or more on the parapet, and in some cases we go right up and over the top of the parapet. The parapet membrane is fastened to the structure, terminated and sealed, and of course we fuse the membrane to itself so we can create a single solid seal on the roof with no possibility of leaks. Because canales and scuppers are one of the usual suspects when it comes to a leaky flat roof, the Pro-Ply system creates a full seal entering the canale all the way through each unit, typically past the outer wall's plane. And before the membrane, the canale was open at the top of the tunnel. What we have here is the most thorough seal a canale can receive because our membrane is flashed through top and bottom and each side. On corners and for detail areas, everything is hand welded. And again, even though it looks like different pieces, physically this is becoming one single solid piece of membrane, which is pretty cool. Vents and penetrations, which are the various pipes, ducts, and such that go through the roof, are areas where we give a lot of attention to, because they can be problem areas as well. The penetrations are fitted with what we call boots. These are pieces that surround the pipe and then are fused to the membrane itself. Some roofing companies use off-the-shelf boots and hope that they fit properly, but we're able to custom make our boots for every single penetration. Skylights too need special attention. We do a lot of detail work in this area as well to make sure there are no leaks.
High-tech roofing materials are one way Lone Mountain solves flat roof problems, but the other way is through old-fashioned experience.
One of the things that sets us apart is the experience of our crews. Most of our guys have 10 or more years of roofing experience, with the foreman having 15, 20, even 25 years. Because there's a lot of details involved in what we do, all that experience really makes a big difference.
So there you have it, an old leaky tar and gravel roof transformed into a solid leak-proof, energy-efficient roof. It kind of looks like you could fill it with water and go swimming up there.
After the roof is complete, there's one final step. Usually within 1 to 4 weeks after the job is complete, we do a follow-up inspection using one of our trained inspectors. He's not one of the crew who installed the roof, so he's checking it objectively. The inspector double-checks every seam, the canales, penetrations, the parapet walls, terminations, everything. Having this follow-up inspection is just another way that we can ensure the highest quality workmanship and can offer a lifetime warranty, which translates to good peace of mind for the homeowner.
If you have a flat roof or always wanted a house with one, it's good to know there are now ways to make that roof leak-proof, something that's very comforting to thousands of flat roof homeowners across the Southwest.
We have a great product, a great service, and we know that when we go out there to do a job, we can run into them 5, 10, 15 years later, and they're still happy with us.
Lone Mountain has been in business for 25, 30 years, and we expect them to stay in business if we ever have a warranty issue 20 years into the future.
We like to set ourselves apart by providing excellent service, and that starts with the bid. We give them an honest price. We give them what we consider as a fair price on it. But once the job is done, we also provide warranty service, and we respond on a very timely manner.
You know, when it really boils down to it, what a homeowner or a building owner wants is peace of mind.
We'll stand behind the product. We will be there to answer the phone. If there's an issue that comes up, we're always there.